Hi everyone, how have you all been? It's great to see all of you again, and for me, it's been a very, very busy week, but I'm glad I got to see all of you. It feels like it's been a bit, and it probably is because it has been. So, the last time I saw you guys was when I did a watch party on my Discord server last Sunday, which I do I do one live stream a week on YouTube and then one video call with all of you guys for a few hours on Discord, which you can gain access through my Patreon right here. But yeah, that's the last time I saw you guys, and it feels like it wasn't so long ago for Discord, but it feels like it was quite a long time ago for the live stream on YouTube. So yeah, I'm so glad to be back chatting with you guys. Let's see who's in the stream so far. We literally just started the stream right now. We got Billy, we got the Dark Lord of the Sith, Khan, Creators Edits. Time Shadow is here. Great to see you, bud. Let's see. Oh, it's not letting me scroll through. Oh, there we go. Now we are. This streaming software has been really weird today. Anyway, all right. So yeah, we got Dark Lord of the Sith, we got Fireboy, we got Khan here as always. Never misses a stream. We got Jacinda here. We got N Dog in the house. Joey Nichols is here. Spider Will. Oh, it's so great to see a bunch of you today. Let's see. How are you doing today, Eric? And how's it going on the Mortal Kombat Versus video? And do you have a channel update? Yeah, well, oh, hi, Miles. Great to see you too. Yep, the Mortal Kombat Versus video, I'm working on it, but I'm trying to get another commission video out next week. Or, a couple hours we're in next week, aren't we? I'm trying to get another commission video ready. So that's what I'm working on. But I am working behind the scenes on the Mario Versus and the Mortal Kombat Versus video, as well as some other videos. And of course, you guys know me, I'm also working on a bunch of Patreon stuff too. So that's why it's taking a bit. Hold on a second. Where did my pen go? Ah, here it is. So yeah, no, I've got a lot of videos to work on. In fact, I was actually thinking, should I do a Let's Binge watch of Spider-Noir? But then I thought, you know what? No, I'm not making any more videos. I'm just going to be working on the videos that I've planned and work on getting those out. I don't want to keep adding more and more things. So right now I've only seen 2 Spider-Noir episodes. I am well, I'm not. I was gonna give it away there. What I thought I'll let you know in the review. But I've watched 2 Spider-Noir episodes, and by the end, I'll consider doing a review. And that's if I've got time, but I gotta make sure I get the videos out that I've said I'm going to make. So Versus videos are number 1 on my priority list after the commission video, so that's the thing that I want to get out first. Okay. Let's see, what live stream number are we on? 107. And thank you very much for the $5 super chat from Iron Warrior. I really appreciate the super chat, bud. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that, as always, super chats really do help support the channel. So if at any point you want to give super chats, by all means. And also, don't forget, you can also give Streamlabs chats, which, if you do that, YouTube takes no cut from it. So that's always beneficial. So I'll post that and pin it in the chat. So that's there available for you too. So yeah, that's really appreciated. So what's your question? Iron Warrior says, hey there, have you seen the Mortal Kombat 2 movie or the new Lanterns trailer? Also, what is the lineup of your next commission, if I may ask? All right, so have I seen the Mortal Kombat 2 movie? Yes, I have. I am writing a versus video, which is close to being done. So I'm getting that done. So yes, I have seen the movie. The new Lanterns trailer, I actually haven't seen it. I would have put the trailer reaction on my Patreon, but it's been quite a bit and I've still not seen the trailer. So I don't know. You patrons, let me know. Do you want me to do the trailer reaction? If so, I'll probably still watch it and put it up. But yeah, let me know. And like I said, all you gotta do is join this perk, and you'll gain access to my trailer reactions, including all my previous trailer reactions, as well as the trailer reaction I've done with the first Green Lantern trailer. So if anyone who hasn't joined the Patreon wants to check out the trailer reaction, you definitely can. So, yeah. And in terms of what is the lineup of my next commission is going to be of Twilight of the Gods, the Zack Snyder TV show. That review, I'm editing it right now, and that will be the next commission video. So I'll let you know about that one right now. I'm working on that. Then we'll go to the other two that I have. So yeah, if anyone wants to get any more if anyone wants to submit any commissions, get in touch and we can do so. And then you'll be close in the lineup if you want to get yours done next. Because I've only got two more after this next one to do, and then the line is clear. Okay. Uh, Chumby says, have you seen, let me double check, I'm saying that right. Yep, Chumby. Chumby says, have you seen the Backrooms movie? I haven't yet, but I will see it at some point, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So yeah, let's see. Yep, I've answered that super chat. Thank you very much, Iron Warrior, for the super chat. Okay. Right, let's write these down too. Okay, so how many of you have seen the Spider-Noir movie? Sorry, TV show. How many of you have seen the Spider-Noir show? Dark Lord of the Sith? Yes, I have seen the boys finale. I was not as mad at it as other people were, but I can see the disappointment. I mean, they talked about Scorched Earth a lot, Homelander said, and in the end we didn't get to see Scorched Earth. So it was like such a wasted opportunity. I liked it, but I think they could have done better. And I think there was an ending in particular. There's like you get one ending for one character, then you get an ending for another character, and the ending for that character I thought needed to be better because it felt a bit too quick and not so great in the way they did it. But yeah, I had fun, but I can see totally why people were disappointed. And boy, were people disappointed with that show. Although I don't agree when people start comparing like disappointing finales and saying this is just as bad as Game of Thrones. I mean, I would not be surprised if Stranger Things ended as bad as Game of Thrones because that like everything I've heard about that finale was absolutely atrocious, and I still haven't seen the last few episodes. But everything I've heard about it is just like it's complete and utter crap. So yeah, I'm kind of I kind of think there it applies the bad Game of Thrones ending, but not to something like The Boys. I wouldn't go that far. Kermit says I've seen all 8 episodes Spider Noir. Oh, nice. I'm low key boycotting it just because of they promised me a Gwen Stacy one first. Oh, I don't know. Were you talking to me or are you just responding to someone in the chat? I'm not so sure. Oh, you talking about Spider Noir, I guess. Did they promise a Gwen Stacy? I was not aware. Oh, you mean Spider-Gwen show, you mean? Oh, that's what you mean, right, okay. Are we going into spoilers on Spider-Noir? Because I haven't had a chance to see it. No, Time Shadow, no spoilers. We'll be talking about the first 2 episodes, but I've not seen the rest of them, so no spoilers. But I have seen the first 2 episodes. Spider-Will says, I've seen Noir in both black and white and color. That's the funny thing. I do feel like after watching the first episode and the second episode, I feel like I want to immediately watch the episodes again, but in color. But it'll take me forever to get through the show if I do that. So I'm just going to watch it all black and white first and then probably watch it again all in color. Because it does seem like there's a lot of interesting shots and cinematography and things, and it's like I want to see what it looks great in black and white, but I also want to see what it looks like in color just to get the full idea because you can clearly tell like I've not seen it in color, but I have seen the trailer in color and I've gotten to certain shots in the episodes where I'm like, "Oh, I remember seeing that in color. It looked so good." And when you're looking at it in black and white, you would never assume there is that much color going on in the shot and that much cinematography based on the colors and everything. So I really do want to admire the colors of it. So just gotta wait until I can get around to seeing that. Fireboy says, I saw it in black and white and episode 4. Oh, hi, Jess. Great to see you, bud. And you too, Crazy Cat Lady. She goes, hi, guys. I watched all Spider Noir episodes, some of it in color. Oh, nice. Like I said, I'm going to go through all in black and white, and then I'm going to go through it again in color when I get the chance to. Kermit says Spider-Noir is what we should have gotten instead of those Spider-Villain spin-off movies. I totally agree with you on that, and I think everyone agrees with you on that. Those shows were just such an embarrassment, like, seriously. What they were doing with those those movies were such an embarrassment. What they were trying to get away with those was just really atrocious. Okay, so yeah, we've got two really good things to talk about today, which is really nice. I feel like we've been doing a lot of news stories, and there's a lot of bad stories coming out in news stories. So to actually have something like this, which is something you can actually celebrate and talk about something good, I feel like that's just what the doctor ordered. That is really nice. Dark Lord of the Sith, I've still not seen Maul's Shadow Lord yet, but I really want to. But I've just got a lot of other things to balance. I can't just, watch that. So I'm sorry to say I haven't seen it, but I really do want to. Okay, so Creators Edit says no, he's glitching. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. If anyone else is glitching, let me know. I don't want it to be something that's happening to everyone. G Gamer says, "Sup, Eric? How's it going? And thoughts about the price increase Valve did?" Yeah, that's not good, is it? So, for those of you that don't know, Valve have increased the price of their Steam Deck OLED recently. It was out of stock for a couple months, I think, due to the RAM crisis and now the SSD crisis as well. They did not replenish their stock. It was just out of stock for a good while. So people are wondering when's it going to be back in stock, and because the Steam Deck is a 4-year-old device at this point, it's quite old. So people were hoping that if there's a price increase, hopefully there's no price increase, but if there is a price increase, maybe it'll just be $100 or something, maybe 150. But sadly, the Steam Deck has gone up by like $300 for the 1 TB version and just under $300 for the 512 gigabyte version. So both of them have basically gone up from their previous price points, which I think maxed out at $650. Correct me if I'm wrong for the 1 TB. I think originally it was about $650, something like that. And now it's gone up to $950. So that's a $300 price increase, and a similar price increase for the 512 gigabyte version. So that is just all kinds of not good. And that really is a shame because I have my own Steam Deck right here, the Steam Deck OLED. You guys know that I've been talking about this for a while in my live streams, and I've made constant references to it and all that. And it's just such a shame. This is such a great device, but a big part of why it was a great device was because of that price point. But because the price has now just, kind of like just gone completely tatters, unfortunately, it's not a good price. And if anything, it's really scary as to what they're going to price the Steam machine when that comes out. That's what people were the most scared about when they heard about this. They were like, oh shit, if this is what the price is for this, something that's 4 years old, what's the price going to be for a Steam machine, which is still using old hardware, but it's newer than the Steam Deck? So how much will that cost? Especially because they have a 2 TB version with one of them. It's just a complete and utter... It's just a complete and utter, like, a mess, basically, what's going on. So it's unfortunate. Creators Edit says, a bit laggy for you. Time Shadow says, is it lagging for him, for anyone else? It's lagging for him as well. Yeah, G-Gamer, just buy a gaming PC at that point, yeah. G-Gamer says it's fine for him. Is the stream okay for the rest of you? Or any of you experiencing any lag? Crazy Cat Lady hasn't watched Obsession yet. Have you seen the trailer for Obsession at all? Anime says, I'm lucky I bought one for the price increase. Yeah, Anime is on the private Discord server, and he let us know once his Steam Deck arrived. So he literally got lucky, because right before this whole happened, that's when he bought his. So yeah, lucky for Anime. Okay, the stream seems to be fine for everyone else, and it seems to have improved for the others. Billy says Obsession is a triggering movie for me. I'll pass. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Billy. But yeah, my stream is running fine. Okay, that's great. I was concerned there for a second. The Switch 2 is also having a price increase, but at least they let people know months ahead of time, like that this September the price is going to increase by another $50. So it'll be $550. So they're giving people plenty of time to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 right now for $500, which has already gone up from the $450. So they're giving people time. Even Sony gave people time to say, look, we're going to be upping the price. So get in there and get your PS5s if you want them now because we're going to up the price. Valve did no such thing. They just out of nowhere was like, we're in stock now, and there you go. Due to market conditions, the price has gone up. It wasn't good. It wasn't good the way they did it. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Dog in the house. I'm glad the stream is running all good. Uh, Dark Lord of the Sith says, I finished Jessica Jones today. God did season 3 run on fumes. You mean season 2? I don't think Jessica Jones had a season 3. Anime says, I watched Backrooms opening night and thought it was good, but has its flaws. And Crazy Cat Lady has seen the trailer for Obsession. All right, so when we do my review for Obsession, you're going to hear something interesting about, you know, my experiences on going in to watch this movie. I'm just noticing I look so purple. Let me see if I can sort that out. Oh, there we go, filters. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can shift the hue. Whoops, I don't think I want to be doing that. Oh, there we go. That's how you do it. I think that looks a little better, and also it doesn't. Oh, hi, Jake. It's great to see you, bud. Haven't seen you as often, so it's great. I think I saw you last. Was it the last stream or not? I can't remember. But yeah, whenever you guys are able, be sure to jump onto the Discord. That way I get to hear and see you every other week. And the more I get to do that with all of you guys, the happier I am. Because it's a great feeling to actually get to see you guys for the first time. Okay, I think I'm just going to keep this as what it is right there. Let me see if I drop the saturation. Oh, it was a saturation problem. The saturation was too high. What happens if I drop it down? Oh, that's too... Sucks all the life out, doesn't it? Go on just a bit more to... There we go. I think that looks better. All right. Okay. I'm currently watching Daredevil Born Again Season 1. I don't like it. Is Season 2 better, Eric? Says Dog in the house. Yes, Season 2 is definitely better. I'll say that. Like, if you watch my reactions right now, my full uncut reactions to all the episodes are already available on my Patreon, including my full uncut reaction to The Punisher, One Last Kill. I'm editing the next 4 episodes right now. Well, the next 2. And then the next 2 after that will come out soon. So I'm editing those right now. And you'll see more of my thoughts about the rest of the show as they come. So yeah, don't worry, they'll come to YouTube very soon. But if you want to see them all right now, Patreon is the way to do that. Okay. But yeah, Season 2 is definitely a lot better than Season 1, so you don't have to worry about that. Got a $2 donation from Kevin. Thank you very much, Kevin. And he says, where is this question? What's your reaction on Toy Story 5 being rated PG? Were they all rated the U certificate before? What is it, PG now? I'd say that's interesting, but I feel like the PG rating has just been becoming even less of a bad thing. Like, PG used to mean something. So I feel like as PG goes on, the less and less it means, and that's why they rated it PG. Unless there's something in there that was that is different. Let me see. Why is it rated PG? Officially rated PG. Marks a major milestone because, yeah, of course, they were all G in the previous films. I think they were all G in the UK as well, which was U in the UK. The official reasons for the PG rating are for some thematic elements and rude humor. I mean, that's what used to get you a G back in the day, or a U in the UK. So it's weird that Toy Story 5 would Just because it has that, it gets a PG. Maybe it's more edgy. I don't know. But Toy Story 3, I think, had some edgy stuff in there too. Let's see. Anime says the first Toy Story was PG in the UK. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because that first one actually had some scary imagery, but come on, it can't have been PG though. I feel like back in those days it would have gone. Nope. Yep. See, I don't know if they've reclassified it, but I remember when I was a kid, the first Toy Story movie holds a U rating in the UK, originally classified by the BBFC in 1995. So I don't know if they changed it later. Let's see. Nope, the original Toy Story is still a U certificate here in the UK. I remember because we had the video back in the day, and on the video they would actually say rated PG, sorry, rated U. So yeah, I remember that it was always U in the UK. Okay, Madam Web is the worst movie ever made, says Logan Miracle. Yep, one of them. Toy Story 3 had the whole insinuator, and that is still rated G somehow. Yeah, it has a lot of stuff in there. Incinerator, I think you meant. I used to have the DVD and it said PG, said Anime. Did it? I remember it always said U. I always do. Okay. All right, so as always, guys, if you want to ask me any questions during the stream, you can wait until the Q&A, or if you want to ask me something immediately, whether it's about what I'm reviewing or what I'm covering or anything, then all you got to do is a super chat, which you can do through YouTube, or a Streamlabs chat, which you can do through the link in the description and in the pinned comment on the chat. If you do that, I'll answer your question immediately while I'm doing the stream. So it helps support the channel too, and you get your question answered, and your name pops up on the screen too. So you get all these extra little fun bits for that. So, all right, guys, with that said, let's get into our review. The first review we're going to do is for a movie called Obsession. I've been debating whether I'm going to do like a dedicated review of this on my channel, but we'll see if that happens or not. But in the meantime, you can enjoy this live stream review. Okay, now, Obsession, this is going to be a spoiler-free review, although I would recommend to you guys that you go in completely blind to watch this movie, because this movie has been getting so much great word of mouth, and it's gotten great Rotten Tomato scores, and it's also gotten great audience scores, and this is a movie, like I said, great word of mouth, and it's because of that I was like, you know what, I'll watch it, okay? I'll watch it, but I will not watch a single trailer. I won't see nothing. The only thing I saw was this poster, and then I saw an image of the girl having a creepy face with some blood on it, and that is it. I saw no trailer, no nothing. And I said to myself, I'm going to go in and watch this movie and not take a peep at anything. So literally, I did not even read the synopsis on IMDb about what the plot of this movie was about. So I mean it when I said I went in completely blind and I had no idea what this movie even was about. And I also heard here in the UK that the movie got an 18 certificate, which is basically like an NC-17 or a very, very hard R. So I was like, whoa, what is this movie about? So yeah, with that said, I went into the theater to go watch this film knowing nothing about it. I did have a bit of food poisoning that day too, so that watching a horror movie when you have a bit of the weird feeling in your stomach, like it felt like constant butterflies when you're watching this movie. So that was a bit of a weird sort of like thing to have when watching the movie, but hey, it made it more immersive, as you'll find out. Now, the movie, I'm gonna now to speak about it, I need to give some spoilers. Well, not spoilers. I gotta tell you the plot, and the plot, what I'm telling you, is purely based on what is told in the trailer. So if you consider that to be a spoiler and you don't want to know anything, then come back in about 10 minutes and I should finish the review and then you can continue. But I'm not going to give any big spoilers, just the synopsis based off of what you get in the trailer. Okay, now the trailer has been making the rounds, as well as a clip that has been going on as well that they've released, which is kind of a crazy clip, but it's one of the least crazy things that happens in the movie. So this movie is basically about a main character that we see here called Bear, and a girl that he has a crush on right over there called Nikki, and you can see that she is in the background over there. She's like that silhouette staring at him. Now, he has a crush on her, but he doesn't have the nerve to ask her out. So he just, on a whim, just for fun, he just basically holds that thing that he has and makes it says on the box to make a wish, and he says, "I wish that she loves me more than anything in the world." And he breaks it, and lo and behold, his wish comes true. She does have a big liking towards him, but as they usually say, be careful what you wish for. So yeah, it's one of those kinds of stories where it has it's a monkey's paw situation where someone makes a wish, but the wish has like a dark twist to it. And that's basically what it is. And the movie is basically called Obsession because that's exactly what she is. She loves him, but maybe she loves him a bit too much. Hence the title of this movie. Now, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but that's all I'm going to tell you about the plot. And you know what the setup is now. The thing that I'll tell you right now is that what really sells this movie is the performance of the main actress. Her name is she plays, like I said, a character called Nikki, and her name is, I hope I'm saying this right, Ind Navarati or Indy Navarati, and she plays Nikki, or as she's nicknamed, Crazy Nikki. And just take a look at her face right here, and that kind of tells you everything. She is crazy. That's the image that I said I saw. When I said I've only seen an image with some blood on her face, it was this one. And this girl, the performance she puts in here, I gotta tell you, it is one of the best performances of the year, like without a doubt. She just has so many layers of crazy here. Now, do you remember when I reviewed and did a versus video on Carrie? And I said Sissy Spacek has like so many faces. How she can look scared, she can look weak, she can look reserved, she can look pretty, she could look horrifying. She has all these like facial expressions Sissy Spacek did as Carrie. And this is another situation like that, but in a different kind of way. She also has so many different facial expressions. This is one of her many creepy smiles that she has in the film, and she's also got various other faces too. Like she's got sad faces and all these things, and you just can't predict what her attitude or what her behavior is going to be. And that's what really kind of throws you off, is that you don't know what mood she's in or when she's just gonna snap like this or whatever. And that really puts you on edge when you're watching. You don't know what's gonna happen. So she does a phenomenal job. Like seriously, they should consider like nominating her for an Oscar. That's how great this performance is. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like I said, I didn't know what this plot was about. So when she started acting like this, there's several times in the movie where I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, and then I sat down in my seat, like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And at one point, something happens that was so intense that I actually jumped in my seat and went like this. I never usually do that, but the reason I did that is because the tension in this movie, it doesn't freaking stop. Like, they linger on shots and they linger on her smiling face for a long time. This is one of those movies. It's an independent film, and just wait until you hear what the budget is. But it's an independent film, and one of the things that it does, like certain independent films do, is that it keeps the camera stationary in one place on people's facial reactions. And in some movies, it can feel like they're just padding the movie out. But here, it does it to really amplify the tension that is going on. And there's times where you're like, could you just cut the camera away from her face? Because like I said, she's got all these different faces, these different faces that she puts on. And the majority of them are all creepy. So I thought they did such a great job with the tension. You did not know, like the whole time, what she was going to do, how she was going to snap, if she was going to snap, or what was going to happen. And that really did put you on edge the whole film. And the tension in this movie really is something else, because this is the first time I've seen a horror movie where when the tension got going, I was thinking, okay, could you stop the building tension now? Could you just cut to the payoff? Not because the tension wasn't working, it was. But it was working too well, to the point that the butterflies in my stomach were like just going crazy. And probably also I had that, like I said, a touch of food poisoning going on, so that also was like constantly there. Maybe I'm confusing it with that, or if it was really the tension, but I'm certain it was the tension. Guys, the tension in this, it's unforgiving. They don't say to you, all right, other movies will say, okay, we're going to build tension, okay, we'll stop now, here's the payoff. This movie just keeps saying, we're going to build the tension, we're going to build the tension, we're still building the tension, we're still building the tension, we're still building it, still building it. It just doesn't stop. And that's what really puts you on edge. The tension keeps escalating, but it never gets old, or it never misses a beat where it's like, you know what? You should have you should have just given cut to the payoff a few seconds ago because you kept it going for too long. No. This movie has a really great ability in like just holding the tension and constantly ramping it up, and it never reaches a point where it peaks and then it just kind of like drops. It's like, okay, now you're milking the tension. No, this movie constantly maintains the tension and you're on edge like 100% of the time. And that's something that this movie does so well. And likewise, the boyfriend character here, Bear, he eventually also starts to unravel. That's kind of where it is. So you as a viewer are very much in sync with him. Like at first you're kind of going with it, but there comes a point, of course, in these movies where it starts to go so extreme. And that's where you are in the exact same boat as him. And for all the compliments I've given her as an actress, he is a very good actor. Let me see his name. The name of this actor is Michael Johnston. And he does a really good job. Like, seriously, he has the perfect like reactions to her perfect like outbursts. And everything, like they say with acting, a lot of acting is reacting, and he has a lot to react to. And if he wasn't reacting properly, I think it would have kind of like taken some of the tension away. It would have felt like everything was not in sync properly. But because he was reacting so well, everything was like perfectly in sync. Their performances were like just pitch perfect all the way through. And of course, there are also times in the movie where he's just completely fed up, like you could see here. And that's what it does. This movie like kind of shows like exactly what goes on in a relationship like this. And it's not a message heavy movie, but at the same time, you can see the message that it's trying to put in there, or the discussion is trying to bring forward. And you can see it if you want to, the message, or you can just ignore it completely and just enjoy the movie. So I thought that was really, really good. Everything to do with the tension, the payoff was really good. These two actors, also great. You have only like really two other main characters or side characters in the movie, but because this is an independent film, they keep it very, very, very low. They keep it a very intimate cast, basically. So this movie is based around a friends group, basically, with of course these two being the main characters of the film. And I said this movie was a low budget. It is only a $1 million budget. $1 million, and it's made like, I think last I checked, like it's either approached or already passed $100 million worldwide. So this movie is crazy in terms of the money it's made at the box office. So yeah, I'm trying not. I can say so much more, but I'm trying not to give more away about the movie itself. But everything this movie tries to do with this concept, with the tension, with its performances, with everything, it 100% accomplishes it. The let's see. The only thing I think I was not so keen on is that the movie does have, I'd say, a couple places where I'm like, okay, pacing wise, it feels like it's dropped a little bit here. Mainly at the beginning. There was a little point in the middle, but it was really at the beginning. There was a point in the pacing at the beginning where I was like, and this is because I did not know what the plot was. Like I said, I stayed away from the trailers. So I was trying to think, okay, what is this movie about? And if you go in not knowing nothing, you don't know what's going to happen or what the main plot line is, you will feel a bit like, okay, when's this going to get going? Because I was thinking that. I was like, are we going to get going? Like, it feels like it's taking a bit. But once it does get going, you understand. Oh, excuse me. Once it does get going, you do understand why they had to have that extra long opening. Because it is important setup. And there's also some like answers the movie gives you. It's like questions or answers throughout the film where it's like, I think they let us know. They let us know this. Like, there's a question at the beginning of the movie where you're like, if a character did this, would this have happened? And I think I don't want to give anything away, but depending how you read the little clues and hints that they drop, you might get an answer. That's all I'll say. But yeah, this was, holy crap, guys. Like, this movie put me on edge so much that when the movie was over, I was like, Guys, I'm just exhausted. Like, I was constantly on the edge of my seat, constantly like worrying what's going to happen. And the movie is not insanely violent all the way through, but there is quite a bit of violence later on as just things start to amplify and go completely nuts. That's when some of the violence comes in. So if you're wondering why this movie is rated 18, that's the reason why. The movie does get more violent as it goes, particularly towards the end, as you would expect. So yeah, I thought this was a really good movie. It surprised me with how it just did this concept so well. Because this concept is not new. We've seen this concept done where there is someone who is crazy obsessed with their partner and how, all the shenanigans that come out of that. We've seen it in comedy, we've seen it in horror, or I'd say not really horror as much as thriller. This is the first time I feel like, at least that I'm aware of, that we're seeing this concept done in horror form. And what's really impressive is how they were able to do this all with a $1 million budget. Like, seriously, they did a phenomenal job. This movie should be studied in terms of what you can accomplish with a very low budget. And that is something which I think is really, really impressive. So, my score for this movie is a very good 8 out of 10. I was genuinely surprised by this movie. This movie just completely snuck up on me. Like, people were talking about it, saying great stuff about it. And then me and my brother went to go see it, knowing nothing about it. In fact, my sister actually saw a trailer, and my dad saw a trailer too, because, like I said, this movie was being advertised, even on YouTube ads where they say skip 5 seconds and all that. So it was out there, the marketing. But I'm glad this is the marketing for the movie where I got to be the one to say I did not see no marketing, no trailers, no nothing. Just that poster for the movie, that main poster, and this image of this crazy girl. And that was enough. That was all I saw, and I went in completely blind to the rest of the film, and I had a great time. It was a really, really good movie, and the ending is something that I thought they were almost going to screw up. Because the ending in horror movies, you guys know how I'm not too a fan of horror movie endings, but they did something in the ending where I'm like, oh, of course they were going to do that. It's not the ending you guys think it is. I'll just say that. But I was like, oh, of course they were going to do that. That's kind of like what an indie movie would do with this ending. It's a kind of an artsy ending. But then they do another ending, and I was like, oh, that's actually more. I actually prefer this. So this movie is not generic, but at the same time, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's doing a very good job with its sound design, with its tension building, and in particular with its actors. This is very much an actor-driven movie. In particular, these two. The movie is about them, and they both stand out, but this crazy girl stands out more in particular. Like, seriously, her performance. I can't remember the last time I was scared watching someone in a movie, but those crazy facial reactions she puts on, one smile she does reminds me of the movie Smile, where that demon has that crazy smile that which is a practical smile. They actually, I feel like they did that at one point with one of the smiles, and it was done at a point where she's supposed to be very sweet. And like I said, that's why this movie is just so good with the tension and everything it does. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is supposed to be a sweet moment, but that smile says something else. So yeah, I thought this was a really good movie. I wish I could tell you more, and it's hard to talk about a movie that I'm trying to give no spoilers with, but it was a very good, very strong movie, and I would highly recommend that you all watch it when you get the chance. It really is a good one. So yeah, a very good 8 out of 10 is what I would give this movie. All right, so who else has seen the movie Obsession? Let me know who else has seen this film. Jake, there is no 18A in the UK. It's just 18. Jess, Logan is more bloody than Obsession, but there is some detail in the blood here. When you normally see some detail, that's when they usually give movies 18 here. Plus, there was some stuff with drugs in the movie a little bit. Drugs in the UK, whenever they show that in movies, that also doesn't sit well usually. So it's a 15 like the Batman when there's drug exchanges going on, things like that. But then when there's a little bit more of an emphasis on drugs, they usually make it 18 in the UK. And there's another element which is in the movie which I can't talk about because it's a spoiler, but that also gets an 18 in the UK. So yeah. Big Bash says, Eric, what'd you eat to give you food poisoning? It was just a shawarma, funnily enough, and it's our local shawarma. Me and my family have had food from there all the time. That's considered like the healthier takeout place to go. And for some reason, it really didn't agree with me that day. I don't know why, because I've had food from there constantly before. So it's not like I had something different and all of a sudden I just got food poisoning. It was so weird. But yeah, that did. That's the part where I couldn't tell. I'm like, is the food poisoning making me feel really uneasy right now, or is it the movie, or is it the movie, or both? Because I felt like there was this uneasiness, and I was not quite so sure. I was like, what is it right now? But that just made the movie more intense for me. This was I Anime said this was nearly an NC-17, and the director had to cut some things, which I won't spoil. Yeah, there was a certain thing that happens in the movie, probably the bloodiest scene in the movie. You'll know when you see it. And there was supposed to be a bit more violence going on there, which got an NC-17. And the director was like, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm keeping that in there." But I think when the studio acquired it, they were like, "Yeah, make it rated R." So he had to cut it down a little bit. Hopefully on the DVD they'll have the full version, but I kind of doubt it. Caleb, I've not seen the Michael movie, no. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad the movie has done well at the box office. Even though Hollywood, you can tell the people in the pe- politically, the people in the industry, just whatever, like they're not pleased with it. That's why they're trying to counter the movie with this other stuff going on. It's yeah, it's not a good situation what's going on there. Makes you feel very sorry for MJ, of course, but yeah, that's the situation that they've tried to do, but people are not falling for, the story they're trying to sell. And that's why the movie did so well, because people don't see Michael Jackson in the way that the narrative is trying to put him out there as. Hello, Eric. How's it been going for you? Says Rohan. It's been going good, bud. I'm surprised. I'm glad. Not surprised you're here. I know you're always here. I'm glad you're here. That's what I was gonna say. Big Bash says $1 million and is able to do so much with a budget like that. It really is. It's impressive what it was able to do with this budget. That face is not that crazy. I've seen worse in the mirror every day, says the Dark Lord of the Sith. That face means a lot more if you've seen the movie and you know what scene it's in. At the same time, though, that's not the craziest face she's made. Like, there's many others. Like in the trailer, there's even a crazier face she makes during this scene, right here. If you see what her face looks like in this scene, they show a shot of it in the trailer. It looks even crazier than this face right here. Big Bass says it really is a win for indie movies. It really is, yeah. Vilka, you can ask me that during the Q&A. Now's not the right time. We're only talking questions about Obsession. But no spoilers, remember. Anime says it's nearly 150 million. Wow, word of mouth has been traveling. There was a decent amount of people in our screening too, and everyone was really into it. There were a couple of girls behind me and my brother where we were like, "Oh no, they look like they were I think late teenagers, mid to late teenagers." We were like, "Oh no." They were talking all the way through the adverts and the trailers and I was like, "They're not going to talk like this through the movie, are they?" And thankfully in the movie thankfully in the movie they didn't talk that way. Sorry, Rohan says my mic is off and the audio is cutting back and forth. Is anyone noticing any problems with my microphone, or is it all good? Eric, would you date the girl from Obsession? No way. No way. I mean, no problem with the mic. Okay, that's great. That's bizarre. Some people are saying that people are getting some weird internet or something? Because normally I know when there's a problem with my mic. Everyone tells me. Anyway, yeah, uh, she is. I'll tell you, this girl. She did remind me of a little bit of Rachel Zegler. She reminds me a little bit of Rachel Zegler because they're both Latino. They are, and if you look at her smile that she does in the movie, sometimes her smile and stuff, even in interviews, she reminds me quite a bit of Rachel Zegler with a mix of someone else who I can't remember right now. But she's got a bit of a weird look to her, and I think that's why they cast her, because her faces can look a little bit weird. And because she's got a bit of a weird thing is, it's hard to tell. It doesn't sound nice when you say someone's got a weird look. She's got a bit of a unique look. And when someone's got a unique look, it's fine when they make normal faces, but when they try to contort their face to make scary faces like this or this, you'll see what I mean. There's like a little added creepiness to it. So they did a very good job with the casting here. No, I don't remember her speaking Spanish in the movie. It's rated 14A in Canada somehow. Is 14A kind of like a PG-13? Or is it like a 15? Is a PG-13. Jeez. They must have cut it. It can't be a PG-13. Especially if in the US they were saying cut it because it was NC-17 originally. Scary Movie 4 already did a parody of Michael Jackson. Yeah, looks like they're going to do another one of the new Scary Movie. Anyway, yeah, great movie. And now let's move on to our next topic of discussion. Okay. All right. Now we're talking about Spider-Noir. Now, I've only seen 2 episodes, so no spoilers for what happens in the rest of the show. I literally just finished the second episode before I started the stream, so I've just watched them. And don't worry, I won't give any spoilers either, so you don't have to worry about that from what I've seen if you haven't seen them yet. But I have a feeling that I'm probably the last one at this point that has seen that is watching this. Okay, so it does come in color as well, and I've been watching it in black and white. I will, like I said at the beginning of the stream, when it comes out, when I finish watching all the black and white episodes, I will then watch them in color. I already feel like watching them in color after watching them in black and white because it just looks really. You can tell they put a lot of work into the cinematography, and you just want to enjoy them in both formats. I mean, just look at this poster. Both of these posters, they're both like the black and white one looks great, but it also looks so stylized in the color version. So it's like you want to see it in both formats. This poster is very indicative of how you'll feel when you watch the episodes. It's like in black and white, that's how it's supposed to look. It looks great, but the color looks so beautiful to look at. I mean, just look at that. That's a great looking poster. Honestly, these two posters, and these are just two of the posters for this show, are looking a lot better than the Spider-Man Brand New Day posters. Because for some reason, the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, they've got a history of displeasing posters where people have not been happy with them and they say they look so cheap. Like the Iron Man, Spider-Man Homecoming poster that had Iron Man on it. Remember the big controversy about that when everyone said this looks like a cheap Photoshop poster that someone did very quickly, like unprofessionally. So yeah, it was very it was very weird to see that with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. But yeah, these posters look far better than Holland's Spider-Man movies already. Like, you know, his posters. All right, so let's get my notes. Okay, so I've only seen 2 episodes of Spider-Noir, so I've not seen all of it. I don't know what the overall plot is yet, but there's clearly a mystery unraveling. So yeah, the first thing I'll tell you about Spider-Noir is the black and white works. Like, you would think that, will this just make you bored of watching it? Will the black and white not work? How will it work overall? Is it going to get boring? Are they taking advantage of the period piece setting? And the answer is no, it doesn't get boring. No, you don't get bored of it quick. No, it's not just a visual gimmick. All of it is perfect. Like, seriously, when you're watching this in black and white, I'm like, wow. Not only have they put the work into making this look like an old school type of noir, detective noir show, but they also have distorted the sound slightly. The sound has a filter to it when you're watching this, and Nicolas Cage and all the other characters when they're talking, it sounds like you're watching an older show. Now, they didn't completely distort the sound to make it sound like a show. It's still got to sound fresh enough to where when action sequences happen and stuff, you're hearing some good sound. But they did it just enough to where when you're watching them in their offices, like when going from door to door and everything, it really does sound like it gives you a good balance of it sounding like an old show, but also of something new. So I really liked that. And the cinematography is very good, especially when you watch it in black and white. I'm watching it on a 32-inch OLED monitor right now. This is a gaming monitor. And it is OLED, as you know, is so good with black and white colors, especially with blacks. And because this is practically all shot in black and white, Anytime you see shadows or you see a top-down shot and Nicolas Cage is walking down a street corner and trying to follow someone and you see his shadow on a bucket up against the wall and everything, it is just so perfect to watch on an OLED screen. So I've loved the visuals of it. And also, I feel like I'm not even fully experiencing the visuals because, like I said, just look at this color that you see right here on this color poster. That tells you right there that if that's how good it looks, the color looks in the poster, just imagine how good it would look in black and white. And there's actually some blood, like a good amount of blood in this show, which is really surprising. I was wondering, are they going to make this rated R or not? Or will it be like a TV-14 thing, like the CW Arrow show was and Flash was, where they clearly show blood, but it's not R-rated blood? From what I've seen, they did something where I was like, wow, that is R-rated territory. They did that in the first episode, if I recall. Something really quite violent. And they show you close up, but it was in black and white. Now, in black and white, you could get away with making that a TV-14. But then I remembered, I was like, hang on, this comes in color as well. So what did that look like in the color shots? So there's a really bloody thing. Yeah, anime says it is TV-14. Yeah, it is a weird thing. Anime, no, I'm not watching it on my projector. I was originally going to, but because of the heat, I don't know, I just don't feel like watching up against my wall as much. So I thought, you know what, I'll just watch it on this monitor. This monitor is quite big. I've brought it close up to myself, and because it's an OLED monitor, I thought I'd watch it here. Because it's black and white, I don't feel like I need to watch it on a projector because black and white already like reduces the scale down a bit. So I thought I'd watch it in black and white on my 32-inch monitor, and that has been good, I think. But who knows, maybe there's no shots where I've watched it so far. I'm like, you know what, that would have been better on the projector. Projector is better for, I think, color rather than black and white. You can have fun with black and white, but really it's black and white I think is best. Like you could watch it on TV or on a monitor and that's fine personally for me. But yeah, so I really did like I liked that fact that it can go more violent and brutal. I like the style, I like the cinematography. I'm loving the black and white. And one thing that I'm really liking right now is, oh, hang on a second. We've got a 5 Australian dollar. Oh, hang on. Damn it. We've got a 5 Australian dollar donation from the Master of Gaming. Thank you very much, bud. He says, Eric, do you think the cinematography by Peter Deming is great in Spider-Noir? Dude, it's not just great, it is really great. Like, it is some excellent work going on here. And the way that they frame everything, the way they actually, like, have the lighting work both for black and white, but also color, that is really beyond me. Plus, the color is not just your typical color. It's trying to have that Technicolor kind of look from the olden days when color was coming in. So it's really cool what they've managed to accomplish here. It's like this cinematography has to work in two ways. It has to work great with black and white, but great with color as well. And that is so good how they were able to accomplish that. Like, bravo, seriously, they need to be complimented for that. So yeah, now Nicolas Cage, Spider-Noir. I've just seen 2 episodes, and in both those episodes, I was surprised at how reserved he was. Like, it could be so easy for Nicolas Cage to just be Nicolas Cage in this role, but he's taking this role seriously, at least in the first 2 episodes. He's not doing any over-exaggerated Nicolas Cage isms or anything like that. He's just doing what he's doing. He's playing the character. He's very reserved. He's very detective noir. He's under control is basically what I'm describing. Nicolas Cage is under control. Now, there was one moment in episode 2 where he's impersonating someone, and that's when I was like, okay, now we're seeing a bit of Nicolas Cage in there. But then that was over, and he went back to being more serious again. Now, I've heard he piles on the Nicolas Cage later on in the season, and I'm curious to see how he does it. I hope it doesn't throw the tone off, but you can tell he's bringing in some Nicolas Cage-isms, and I hope he doesn't drop it. Like, I hope he brings in some more, because it's fun, but I hope it's done sparingly. That's where I found I've enjoyed it the most. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that. I've also really enjoyed how we've had other characters in here, like Electro, Sandman. We've also got, I think the femme fatale in this is like a play on Black Cat. That's what I'm guessing, because they even call her the something cat. I can't remember what they call her, but I'm sure that she's kind of meant to be like the black cat of this world. So that's fun whenever they're able to like bring in the Spider-Man characters into this world but reinvent them. It really makes it feel like, okay, this is still a version of Spider-Man, because there is so much stuff in this that is not like Spider-Man. Like, for example, he's not called Peter Parker, Spider-Noir, he's called Ben Riley, which is like, okay, Ben comes from Uncle Ben, but why is he not called Peter Parker? I mean, Into the Spider-Verse, their names were all a play on Peter Parker. So that would have been fun. I would have liked a bit more so far. I would have liked a bit more references to Spider-Man, because they'll bring like I would have liked a version of the Daily Bugle, for example, or some things like that, or just some locations that are like, oh, I remember that location from the other, from like the other the traditional Spider-Man stories. So I would have liked if they actually did a few more of those, because that would have just made it feel like, okay, this really is an alternate version of Spider-Man's universe. But as is, I feel like sometimes it can feel a bit too alternate, like it's almost completely detached sometimes. So, like, you see a reporter in the movie, sorry, in the show, but the production value is so good you think it's a movie. You see a reporter, but the reporter never says I'm working for the Daily Bugle or anything, and I think that could have gone, just little touches like that could have gone a long way. So yeah, tonally I think it's great. Also, our villain is played by Brendan Gleeson, and he plays Silvermane. So he's basically the mob boss in this story, essentially. Just like we have Kingpin in Daredevil, we've got the Penguin in the Batman, sorry, in the Penguin series. Here we basically got Silvermane, and Spider-Noir he's not been Spider-Man for 5 years, so we've got mob bosses basically coming in trying to compete for a position, which is now available because Spider-Man is not there to stop them. So, or the Spider as they call him. So that's basically what's going on, and I'm going with that story, but at the same time, I gotta ask, what's with all these superheroes, like, not being the superheroes for a while? Like, a tragedy or something has happened to where they're just not being the superhero anymore. That happened in Daredevil Born Again Season 1, where Matt Murdock stopped being Daredevil, then he went back into the saddle again. And it's happened with other superheroes as well. So it's a weird thing that they're doing. Even Luke Skywalker didn't want to be a Jedi anymore in The Last Jedi. Then he became a Jedi again. It's like, what's going on where it's like these heroes are just kind of like in the dumps when we see them, and they're in the dumps to such an extent that they're not their superhero counterparts anymore. It's a weird trend that we're seeing, but this does it really, really well. Now, going back to Brendan Gleeson, I've only seen 2 episodes, but he does a very good job of trying to act calm and then trying to act angry, but not over the top angry. Like, he raises his voice and he gets annoyed, but it never got to a point where he feels over the top. His performance is perfectly tuned for the kind of villain that he's supposed to play. And then when Spider-Man does come back into the picture, I was like, oh, this is actually a cool interaction. And that's something I'm happy about, is that from what I can tell, the Spider-Man thing, they don't have him say, oh, I'm not going to be Spider-Noir for like the whole show. Like, I'm so depressed. Relatively quickly, he does get back into the game, which I do like. But boy, did he mess up big on something. I won't say. When that happened, I was like, oh shit. I was so happy for a second, but now it seems like something bad happened. So that's actually pretty cool. Pretty cool. And you can tell that they're modeling this after like classic mobsters, which is kind of like what Matt Reeves did with the Batman when he wanted to make it like the old Warner Brothers gangsters from old gangster flicks. And that's kind of like what I feel like this show is doing, but in its own different way. So I like the aesthetics. I like Nicolas Cage as Spider-Noir. I like the side characters so far. I like how this Ben Riley, sorry. I like how this Ben Riley is poor. Like, he doesn't really have much money. And he can't even pay his secretary, who's been working with him for so long and has not been paid. So even this basically tells you that he's poor, unlike Tom Holland, who has never been poor up till like just the ending of the recent movie. So it's cool that this show gets Peter Parker more than Tom Holland's version did, and this is not even Peter Parker. This is a completely different version of the character. So I do love that the guys that are like producing this, Lord and Miller, that they do get Spider-Man, and that we are really seeing that here. So yeah, so far we're only 2 episodes in, but I like all the characters. This end of episode 1 kind of like gave us the big mystery, And then in episode 2, we're getting the mystery, and it seems like more things are unfolding. I also like how his spider sense is being portrayed in this show. It's more of a mystery, like surprisingly, like he's discovering the spider sense, like he doesn't quite know how to control it or understand it really. So that's actually kind of interesting. That's a cool layer that they're adding to him. So they're taking one of Spider-Man's powers and trying to like say, see, he still has to master it. So that's cool. The spider sense is pretty much new to this Spider-Man, or at least he doesn't know how to use it, which is cool. So that's a cool additional layer that they've added to this. So I really do like everything I've seen so far with these first 2 episodes. It's it really is everything you wanted from Spider-Man Noir. And I said when I did my trailer reaction, before I did my trailer reaction, before, when the show was announced, I said I hope they have a black and white and color version. And I'm so happy that they do. I've only seen 2 of the 8 episodes, and once I finish seeing the 8 episodes, I will then have a color version to watch. So I'm really getting my Spider-Man fix here before even the new Spider-Man movie comes out. Just looking at the cinematography in this show, I'm surprised how much more beautiful the cinematography looks in this show, just going by the trailer footage, than what we're going to get in that new Spider-Man movie, where, like I said, everything looks so flat. Even the colors don't look that great. They look very flat too. So this is great to look at. I love looking at this show. I love watching it. I think the writing is really strong so far. I like the villains that they've brought in. I like seeing the Spider-Man noir version of Spider-Man's villains and of this Spider-Man as well. It's really cool to see. And Nicolas Cage's voice, he does a very good job. Although in episode 2 there was an action scene and he had the Spider-Man mask on, and I could tell it was tons of ADR. Like, it was very obviously ADR. So that was a little bit disappointing, I think. That I'm like, they could have just, with the audio mix, they could have worked that in better. But yeah, this was really, really good. This was really good from what I've seen of the 2 episodes, and I can't wait to see more. If I have to give it a rating right now, it'll be either a high 7 or a low 8. Or just a regular 8, actually. So you know what, I'll just say a regular 8. So far, no. We'll say a low 8. It's a low 8 so far. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing, and I can't wait to see more. And that's a very good sign for a TV show when you cannot wait to see more. And I really can't wait to see more. So if I wasn't doing this live stream, I'd be watching another couple of episodes. So that's probably like the best praise I can give it is that I'm really enjoying this, and I'd watch more. All right, so what do you guys think of Spider-Man Noir? Do you have any questions about it? Be sure to let me know. For me, after watching this entire season, it gets an 8.5. It is great. Cool. Fireboy says, and this is what Sony should have done. This is the Spider-Man villain solo movie. Well, yeah, instead of doing the Spider-Man solo movies, the spin-offs, everyone's been saying this is what they should have done, and it is. I would love to see a Spider-Man 2099 TV series. Like, that would be really cool to see. Billy says, haven't seen either, so I'm just along the ride for this stream. Well, that's why I've tried not to give any spoilers, so thankfully you can be along the ride. Imagine if this whole video was just a spoiler discussion. That wouldn't have bode well. Can I tell when take place, says Crazy Cat Lady. I mean, it takes place, isn't it, in the late is it 1890 or 1910 or something? I think I saw 1890 if I remember correctly. This is an actual street level project. Yep, it is. I want more Peter Porker, says the Dark Lord of the Sith. Yeah, Peter Porker being in an animated movie, I think could work. Or some people have said in a Roger Rabbit kind of world, maybe. There's plenty of places the money can go instead of those silly spin-off movies, which Sony said they're rebooting, so we'll see. Billy wants Spider-Gwen spin-off. I don't really... I mean, if they do Spider-Gwen, I think they need Haley Steinfeld to come back in because she does the voice, just like how Nicolas Cage does the voice for Spider-Noir. I don't know, but I feel like if they bring Spider-Gwen, we also might need Miles as well. I don't know. I feel like there are more interesting Spider-Mans, but I could see why you'd want Spider-Gwen. But Spider-Gwen, her stories, those Spider-Verse movies are very much her movies too, to where I feel like, where I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm getting my Spider-Gwen movie when I'm watching those Spider-Verse movies. Whereas I felt like I was really missing out on Spider-Noir in that second Across the Spider-Verse film. So him getting his own show makes more sense to me in that regard. So yeah. Penny Parker spin-off, yep, that could also work. Maybe as an anime. Yeah, it does take place during the Great Depression. They brought that up a couple times actually, yeah. It takes place during the Great Depression and yeah, the 1930s. Yeah, Jess, I want a 2099 spin-off of the show as well. Big Bash says, I love stories set in all the time periods. Me too, especially because there's a very cool aesthetic that can come from it if they do it right. And also, you got a black reporter in this, and they do bring up the fact that he's black in the olden days and what that would be like. Uh, and at least from what I've seen right now, they've not like beat it in the head. Like they've mentioned it once, and then that was basically it. So I'm glad they're not really hammering it in there. I don't have Crazy Cat Lady says I don't have the Peter Parker name. They don't have the rights the Peter Parker name. That they usually use Ben Riley. That is a character from the Clone Wars. Yeah, Ben Riley was a character in the Clone Wars. Oh, I can't remember. Is it really a rights thing? Let me have a look. What is Spider-Noir's real name? In the comics. Peter Benjamin Parker. Ah. Ooh, hang on. It says in the live action television series starring Nicolas Cage, the character's name was changed to Ben Riley to give the gumshoe detective a darker, grittier tone. Eh, I don't know how I feel about that really. Hmm. They said they wanted to homage Golden Age heroes, specifically the Spirit, so they chose the Spider. I don't know if there's also a legal reason. I think they simply didn't want to tie the character of Spider-Man with the noir archetype and things this kind of character does. Apparently they've changed Felicia's name, so that is they've just called her Cat, so it's apparently they changed her name too. So yeah, it's weird. I mean, I know Matt Reeves did it, but with him it kind of made sense why he wanted to change some of their names because some of their names were kind of ridiculous, like Edward Nigma. Like we love it because it's comic book style, we know it's from Batman, but in a more realistic world, would someone call themselves Edward Nigma? So Edward Nashton made more sense. But in Spider Noir, these aren't weird names. Peter Parker, Felicia. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, they call Sandman Flint Marco in here, so why change the names? It is a bit of a weird thing here. I don't think they needed it. I mean, Ben Riley does sound like a cool name, like it fits when you see Nicolas Cage in this do and in this period piece. But why you still wouldn't call Ben Riley like Ben Parker or something, maybe? If you know what I mean? Like, no, but then Ben Parker would make it seem like his Uncle Ben. But he is called Peter Benjamin Parker. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird choice. But would it be a bit weird if they called Nicolas Cage Peter? I mean, probably it would be a little funny, I think, at first that they're calling him Peter, because you never look at Nicolas Cage as a Peter Parker. So maybe it would be funny, but I feel like we'd get over it. But Ben Riley sounds like a cool name too. Sony are so overprotective with the Spider-Man rights that they will never get back to Marvel. Well, of course. And I don't think Marvel should have it, because I don't think Marvel would have made a show like this. What did you think about Spider Noir sections and Shattered Dimensions? I only played one level. I need to find a way of getting the rest of that game on my Steam Deck because I got the PS3 version, which is functional, but I think it's better if I got the actual PC version of the game, so I have to try to do that in my spare time, if I have any. But I liked his sections, but I think the stealth sections in the Batman Arkham games are so much better than stealth sections in these other Spider-Man games, but it was very good though. I did enjoy it. The little level I played. What's better, Obsession or Backrooms? Or Backrooms says Mr. Roly the Poly. I've not seen Backrooms yet, so I can't say. But based off of what I've seen of the trailer of Backrooms, I think I would probably like um Obsession better. But it's still hard to say because I've not seen it. So I won't make that judgment yet. Hi, Love Grizzly Polar Bear. Great to see you, bud. How you doing? Okay, let's get to the Q&A session. You guys can ask me whatever you want for the next 5 minutes, and then we're going to close the stream because I haven't eaten. It's near midnight, and it is getting a bit hot in here, so I just need to get out of here. That's what happens in the summer. So when it gets to the summer, don't be surprised if I say these streams are shorter for that very reason. Oh, Fireboy's gonna go. Okay, take care, Fireboy. Thanks for joining the stream. What is your favorite villain from Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra? Avatar: The Last Airbender, my favorite villain is oh, they got a good amount of villains in there. Azula is a fun villain, isn't she? I'll say the Fire Lord though, because he is the main villain. So I'll say the Fire Lord, and my favorite character or villain in The Legend of Korra is Aman. I liked the Airbender Zahir as well. He was good, but Aman was something that was just cooler in terms of how calm he was. Zahir made no sense with a couple of his things, like when he was like, let go of all attachments in order to fly. And then he was flying, even though his worldly attachment is wanting to kill the Avatar, isn't it? So that made no sense. It really didn't. It was kind of, so I was like, yeah. Yeah, Zahir was just kind of a bit silly at points. Very good villain, though, but a bit silly in that regard. Eric, are you looking forward to the new Resident Evil movie that's coming out in September, says Joshman. Yes, I am. I'm very curious to see it. Creators Edit says, have you seen Rango? You mentioned it in your K-pop Hunters review, and it's my childhood movie. Yeah, I've seen it once, I think, a long time ago, and I can't remember the whole movie, but I remember enjoying it. I did have a lot of fun with that. Hi, Eric. I'm watching the stream while playing the new Lego Batman game. Would absolutely recommend. Oh, cool. Thanks for the recommendation, Charleston. I wish I could play the new James Bond game, but I haven't got something that can play it. I was hoping to get the Steam machine so I could play it on that, but we all know that prices on that have just flown far above what any of us had anticipated. So, yeah, I'm just kind of shit out of luck on that one. Because I really wanted to play that James Bond game. I've got a Steam Deck, but I don't think it can run very well on the Steam Deck. Like, you have to use FSR 3, and FSR 3 just compromises the image too much. Sim says, for me, Obsession and the Backrooms movie show that a great director can come from anywhere. It's the success of these movies that make it much more inspiring. What do you think? Yeah, although if you look at Backrooms, it's got a lot of producers behind it. Like James Wan is there as a producer. Many other people are there producing it too, so he got help. But he got help, but the guy that directed Obsession, he didn't get help. It was a low budget movie, and he managed to beat the odds in every way. So that was probably the trickier movie to make because, like I said, the other guy got help a lot. Can't you play on the computer? Says Crazy Cat Lady. No, because this is a Mac that I'm using, and I don't have I don't use my Mac for gaming. It's just all for work. Eric, unlike you, I find both the Jungle Book and How to Train Your Dragon remakes to be shit, and I find the Scooby-Doo live-action duology to be far better, even the 2002 movie. That's an interesting take. I don't find the How to Train Your Dragon remake shit, although you know that I was shitting all over it in my Versus video. But yeah, yeah, to each his own. To each his own. Eric, what is your overall thoughts about The Boys season finale? Overall, I liked it. I didn't love it. I did think it was weak compared to what it could have been, and I really am disappointed that we all thought that Homelander would go scorched earth at the very end, and sadly he didn't. And they also throw something off that they were building up for a long time by saying, "Well, it's AI," and I'm like, I know AI is timely, but I feel like they threw away a really pivotal plot point that they've been building up for a long time by just saying AI, and I don't like that very much. I wish they would have tried to add more weight to that right there. So yeah. Creators Edit said, seeing your monkey review, I wonder, was the movie so bad it made the copycat Final Destination Bloodlines better, and would you give it a higher score than a 7? No, I think the score still stays at a 7. It's just that the monkey was... It didn't... I'll put it this way. It didn't raise my score for Final Destination Bloodlines, but Final Destinations would make me reduce my score for the monkey. So that's why my score for the monkey went as low as it did, because there was Final Destination Bloodlines. But Bloodlines did not go up in terms of my score. Hey Eric, are you going to see the new Master of the Universe movie because it looks average? Yeah, I'm going to see it, and I'll see if I can try to get a review out as well because we did a bunch of He-Man recently on the Discord server. We saw the movie, the crappy movie from the 80s with Dolph Lundgren, and we had a huge laugh at that. And then we watched a couple. Then we watched an episode that was from YouTube. Actually, I streamed the YouTube episode because it was on YouTube of the original 1980s He-Man series, the first episode, which I had never seen before, so that was the first time watching. And then I put on a couple episodes of the He-Man 2003 series, which I grew up watching as a kid, and that was a lot better. Ethan's drawing is here. Says, "Hi Eric, how's your day been? My day's been very good, buddy. How's your day been? Oh, it's so great to see all of you guys here." Okay, guys, 2 more minutes. I think I was supposed to end it 2 minutes ago, but let's see. 3 more minutes and there'll be an hour and 20-minute stream. So if you want to get your questions out, now is the time. If you want to do any super chats, then definitely make sure your question pops up and gets answered. Now is also the time. And of course, as I always say, donations are always appreciated as it helps support the channel. So we've got 3 minutes. Sean says, I can't imagine you were very happy after finding out about the actor of Frenchie being a... Yeah, no one was. Everyone was like... What he said was horrific. What he said that he did. And yeah, no one's happy with him after that. That was a despicable thing that he had done. Truly, I'm just gonna stop there before I start using any swear words or anything, but yeah, disgusting. Also, you guys know I've already said I did not like his character in season 4 because it felt like he went on a completely pointless subplot that was a last minute like backstory. It's like what Olaf said in season 3 when he says to his henchmen people when he goes, "I don't care about some late season backstory. You do what I tell you right now." It kind of felt like that with Frenchie in season 4. It's like, come on, dude, why are you coming up with this whole pointless subplot now when everyone is gearing up for like, the end of times? Sim, I have seen Mortal Kombat 2, but I don't want to tell you what I thought because I'm writing a versus video with the first Mortal Kombat movie. So stay tuned for that. I can't give that away what I thought. Would you ever react to Prison Break, says the Time Shadow? If someone commissions it, but not on my own, I wouldn't. Because there's so many episodes, isn't there? So if it's commissioned, I will. Otherwise, no. Is your next versus video Mario Galaxy versus Sonic 2? It'll most likely be... It will most likely be... the Mortal Kombat versus video first, then the Sonic and Mario one. Ethan's drawing says, "Hey Eric, if I cancel my Patreon, will I still have access to your Discord server?" No, the only way to gain access to the Discord server is through the Patreon on that perk. Like I said, it really helps support the channel because YouTube is very unkind, especially recently, with a lot of my, well, not recently, last few months, with my videos. All versus videos have been copyright claimed. Also, when I do reviews of like the Mario Galaxy movie, which, that got claimed. So your patronage, do not underestimate how much that helps. But ultimately, that's the only way you can gain access to the Discord. Caleb, great to see you, bud. Says, "Eric, I enjoyed Spider-Noir show." Oh, that's really great to hear. Ethan's drawing says, "Oh, okay, I understand that. Yeah, cool. Good, glad you understand." I should try to find a way to see if I can bring my access to my Discord server through becoming a member on YouTube. But if I do, the price will be higher because YouTube takes a big cut, Patreon takes a much smaller cut. So value-wise, it's better if you go over and join my Discord through Patreon. You'll get a lower price there. So yeah. Have you seen the latest Street Fighter trailer? Honestly, thought it was awesome. Makes me really anticipate the movie. Honestly, the marketing's not really doing it for me with Street Fighter. It's not really exciting me, to be honest with you. But hey, we'll see what happens. Yeah. The movie is ultimately what, will speak volumes in the end. How many YouTube members do I have? I have to go bring up my statistics, but I think I had, was it 11 or something like that? I think I'll have to double check. Or was it 14? I have to check. Josh says, "Eric, can you please answer my question related to Toy Story? I was asking you a question related to it." Hang on. Have you checked the movie we discussed in DM or played the source material yet? I don't mean to sound impatient. I'm just curious. I haven't yet. Let me get these videos out first, then I can. Because, like I said, I was thinking of doing a Let's Binge Watch Spider-Noir, but I'm just not getting anywhere with these videos if I keep thinking of the next one. So I need to get a couple versus videos out. I got another commission video I'm finishing off. Then I'll think about some others. But right now, I need space, basically. But that's why I said I can do the Let's Watch, because Let's Watches are easier. It's like at the end of the day when I finish working, I can record those. But a whole other video, that's a separate matter. Okay, let me see. What were your questions? Some of you were asking questions. Um, what was your Toy Story question, Josh, man? Okay, Josh, man. Actually, no. Oh, here we go. I found it. Are you going to be doing a Toy Story ranking video when Toy Story 5 comes out? And would you include Lightyear in that ranking? Not a bad idea. Although I've been thinking of doing more rankings as well, but like I said, I need to get these videos out first before I do more. Um, I'll consider it, but it's a good idea. But it's just that I've got other videos to finish first. Eric, what do you think of the Luna Ghost, and do you think he should have been the villain instead of Scrappy Doo? Because even I didn't like, despite my disdain for Scrappy. I don't know. The Luna Ghost. What do you mean Luna Ghost? If it's a Scooby-Doo reference, I'm forgotten about it at this point because I've not seen those movies in a long time. Oh, that Luna Ghost was actually pretty cool, actually. Yeah, that would have been better if that was the movie we saw. The whole movie before the opening, but yeah, they didn't do that. Anime, I answered your question already. Okay, now, who else's question have I missed? I feel like there was another question I missed. Yeah, Billy, you're looking more forward to Spaceballs too? Yeah. Big Bash says I missed his. Eric, what movie are you most excited to see parody in Scary Movie 6? Of course, Scream, of course, because that's the funniest parodies I think of Scary Movie. Big Bash says you missed mine. Okay. Oh, sorry, I've already read that actually. You have not missed it anymore. Spider-Man Homecoming did look like a Nickelodeon show with the jokes, relationships, and over-the-top adventures, plus with the cinematography and the way it was shot. Which are better, Lion King or Incredibles? That's a hard question, but I'd say a Lion King. I guess it wasn't that hard then. Which villain you prefer, Amon or Firelord Ozai? I don't know why people say that Ozai is a one-note villain, even though he's meant to be pure evil, the worst of the Fire Nation. Ozai. Because that's a threat where I'm like, I really want to see Aang fight him, and he does, and it's cool. Are you more excited for Supergirl or Brand New Day? Right now, Supergirl, because I'm curious to see what another DCU movie looks like under James Gunn's management, so purely out of curiosity. But I think the movie that everyone's most curious about, of course, is Brand New Day, but honestly, I'm not really into either of them, really. You guys know how much I've not liked Tom Holland's recent Spider-Man, well, all of his Spider-Man movies. If they truly treat him like Spider-Man here, then great, I'm looking forward to it. But only time will tell. Will you do a movie review with Coyote versus Acme? You gotta mention Ketchup Entertainment, if so. Yes, I will, and yes, I will mention Ketchup Entertainment. All right, guys, I think that's about it. I think I've overstayed my welcome by an extra 5 minutes. I'm sorry these can't be as long, but I really got to go eat and do other things as well. And I've still got videos to make for you guys. So, guys, I had a great blast with this. Thank you for the super chats. Those of you that did super chats, they always help a great deal. So, like I said, thanks. And if you haven't already, feel free to consider joining me on Patreon. Like I said, the Discord perk is the one you definitely want to go for because you get to see not only do you get all these perks, but you also get to see my uncut reactions to like Daredevil Born Again Season 2, The Punisher, One Last Kill, as well as reactions to plenty of other stuff that is uncut. And you also gain access to my private Discord server where we get to do watch parties, we get to discuss movies, TV shows, games, all these fun stuff. And we also do weekly video calls that go on for hours every couple of weeks. So we'll be doing that next Sunday. So be sure to head on over and join. The more the merrier. It's like having a nice little Discord community family there, and it's really nice that way. And I'd love to meet more of you in person. So Yeah, guys, this was an absolute blast. Can't wait to see all of you next week over on my private Discord server. And like I said, not only are we going to have a fun watch party and everything, but it always goes towards supporting the channel. So a huge thanks to all of you who have done that. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch all of you very soon. Take care.